Hi, I'm Melinda Goodwin. I am a real estate agent here in Southern Utah, as well as a luxury real estate advisor. I do daily videos on YouTube to teach real estate agents how to market that hard to sell listing or that luxury listing. The purpose of these videos is to, one, help you sell the house, two, possibly get both sides because now we're finding the buyer ourselves, and three, get more listings. In the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about specific marketing strategies for a hard to sell listing and how we do that through focus groups and target marketing and different avenues of marketing. But I want to kind of hit general real estate altogether. You know, it's important that we understand what farm marketing means and when we're farming our area and how we farm that area. But what if we just don't know what area to farm? Right? I mean, people will say, pick a farm area and farm that area, but nobody's really saying how to pick that area to farm. Now, I chose luxury and I chose specific areas to farm that have that luxury price point that I want because that's my niche. That's the houses I've built with my husband. That's where I belong. I love luxury. That doesn't mean that I don't sell other areas and I don't know other areas in our community and I can sell any price point. But that means is that's where I farm, right? That's the area I farm. It's a little bit of a different animal, but I'm going to give you an idea of how to find your growth area. Okay, so it's important that you concentrate your farming in high growth areas. Now, in luxury, when I mean high growth areas, is areas that turn over quicker than other areas, right? But in general real estate, your high growth areas is the areas of your community that are just hitting it. People are begging for that area. That's the high growth that you're looking for, and that's what's going to make you the most money over and over again. By focusing on these high growth areas and becoming the expert in that particular area, you'll grow your listing potential. And that is really what farming is, right? You're becoming the expert in that area so that you can grow your listing potential. And you guys, it starts with one sign. One sign becomes two, two signs become three, three signs become four. You get the point. It doesn't start with 9 signs out the front yard. It starts with one. And you really have to look at, you know, when I would do other businesses as I would start in files or clients or whatever, you look at your file cabinet's empty and it starts with 1 file. And then it has 2, and then it has 3, and now I have 4 filing cabinets. Does that make sense? It's not about going out and saying, I'm going to take over and I'm going to get 900 listings this year, which is an absolute admirable goal, but it's about one. You start with one and work your way through. Now, how do I find the target market that I want to work in? That's a good question because we don't know where do I want to farm. People say, well, pick the farm area and go farm it. Well, I don't know how to find my farm area. So this is the important nugget of today's video. Take a moment and evaluate your market growth. Okay, you can do this through the MLS, you can do this through county records, sometimes title companies can help you, lenders can maybe pull some strings to, you know, give you an idea of that price point that's really hitting the mark. But okay, so what I did was I went through the luxury industry and I picked the average days on market, right? And I picked it all in $1 million and above. What are my average days on market? And then I went to the area that had the least amount of average days on market. That area is the high growth area. That area is the high demand area. That area is the area I want to concentrate my first farming on because that's the one that's turning over the quickest. So that's how I picked mine. Go on days on market and then you look over in what area has the least amount of days on market because that's going to be your high turnover area. So once you do that, then what's the community growth rate? How many people stay compared to how many people are selling? What's the turnover? Is the average 5 years? And this is where your title company can come in. You can take your title company and ask, give me the names and addresses of everybody that's been there 5 years or longer, so that you can see what the turnover rate is. The turnover rate is quick. That could be one of two things. One, there's an issue with that subdivision, and once people move in, they don't like it, and so they move out. But as a real estate agent, that's kind of to your advantage, because you know now that if people are moving in and the average move out rate is every 4 years, that you're going to be doing this target marketing and readjusting your marketing programs every 4 years. See, so that's important to know. You have to know what the turnover rate is in that community, as well as what's the building rate in that community. Maybe I'm looking at the whole county wide first, and then I'm looking at the areas that have the highest building rate. What is that building rate, and why is that so attractive? What is it that I don't know? Is there somebody, an investor or a developer or a big shot guy that has all of the numbers, know that that's going to be that target, and so you want to jump on that target in early stages because you want to be involved in the early stages? That means you're not going to make money right at the beginning, but somebody sees something there, so you're going to jump in and get involved in that. So you want to know what the building rate is, and you want to know what are the other agents doing in that area. If there's other agents in your community that are farming that particular subdivision or that particular town or area of town, what are they doing, and how can you do one more thing differently or add one more thing to your platform that everybody else isn't doing? So let's say everybody is doing signs and postcards. That's awesome. What is one more thing you can add to stand out in that area from the other agents who are farming it? Now I have to tell you that farming a specific area is very easy to do, because not very many people are consistent with doing that, and that is the biggest thing, is consistency. If you're consistency farming that area and that area only at the beginning, because it's a high turnover, people are liking it, all this stuff, you're going to win out because you've been the longevity of what you're doing, and that's super important. Now, okay, now let's say we found our farm area. Congratulations, you found your farm area. You're going to pick 3 things to start with on your marketing, right? One, you have to create visibility. You have to let everybody know in the area that you're alive, that you do real estate, and you do real estate differently because you know the components of finding a buyer. Not just grabbing a listing and putting a sign on it, but you know the components of finding that buyer. And then you're going to be consistent and professional, which we already talked about, but pick 3 to start. Is it going to be ads, direct mail, email blasts, paid target marketing, key terms, signage, sales calls, social media? You can do all that, right? So pick 3. Pick the 3 that maybe the other agents aren't doing, and really hone in on that. That is going to set you aside. You now have your farm area. Now when you're doing all the other stuff that we've talked about, you can do it in that farm area, and you only do it once every 3 to 4 years based on your turnover rate. So it's really important that you take some time to study. It's not just about grabbing your license and then saying, hallelujah, I have a license, I'm going to be the top producer this year. It takes time, and all these studies and all these investigations will happen over time. But you know what? When that does, when that light switch happens, you're going to be standing on top. That's just it. You're going to be the one. And that's where you should be, because you've done your homework. So tomorrow we're going to talk about more marketing strategy in that farm area, and I'm really excited to get into the nuts and bolts of this, because it's really going to help you as a real estate agent. So we'll see you tomorrow.